Hey there, deep divers. Welcome back. For today's deep dive, we're going to be taking a look at Alibaba Cloud's full stack solution for generative AI.
GenAI.
GenAI, right?
Yeah,
And all of the material for this deep dive comes straight from Alibaba Cloud.
great source.
Straight from the
Just
wax.
consider this like your insider look into how Alibaba Cloud is enabling businesses to kind of unlock the power of GenAI. And we'll talk about, what that even means and all the exciting things that they're doing
Yeah.
to make it possible.
You know what's interesting to me is that they're not just offering bits and pieces, right? They're really presenting a complete toolkit.
Yeah.
So it's a whole process service solution, they say.
Yeah.
For everything from building and optimizing these foundation models
Yeah.
to fine-tuning them for specific business needs and easy deployment.
So they're trying to be like a one-stop shop.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
we've got everything you need regardless of your size or experience level to really unlock AI.
And they're really pushing this idea of like transforming customer experiences and really using AI to drive business innovation.
Yeah, that's a big promise.
It is.
What are some of the specific things that they're highlighting?
Well, they emphasize 4 key advantages.
Okay.
First off, they've got ready-to-use AI computing services.
Okay.
So these are purpose-built for performance, scalability, and cost-effectiveness,
Okay.
making it easier to get started with large-scale foundation model training and Gen AI application development.
So it's like if you want your AI to be fast,
Yeah.
it needs a strong engine.
You need a good engine
Yeah.
under the hood.
Right, what else?
Next up is diverse selection of open-source foundation models.
Okay.
So they offer their own Tongyi Qwen series, but they also give you access to things like Stable Diffusion, Llama 3, and more from mainstream AI communities.
Oh, so they're not just locking you into their own.
No, it's
Yeah.
like choose your weapon,
Yeah.
choose your model.
Okay, cool.
And so that gives you a lot of flexibility.
That makes sense.
Right. And then even with all the tools in the world, you still need power.
Yeah.
So that's where their high-performance training and inference comes in.
Okay.
They leverage end-to-end performance optimization to really accelerate dataset processing, model training, and inference.
Yeah.
And they do that by using these GPU-based AI acceleration solutions.
So it's about having the tools, but also making sure they can be used efficiently.
Yeah, you got to make sure they can run
Yeah.
smoothly.
Cool.
And all of this leads to the 4th advantage, which is business transformation
Right.
at the forefront of AI.
Okay.
So you can build innovative applications with generative AI,
Yeah.
transform customer experiences, boost productivity, and stay ahead of the curve in your industry.
So they're really selling it as a way to stay competitive.
Very much so.
Cool. All right, so we got the big picture now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what's powering all of this.
Yeah.
What kind of infrastructure are we looking at here?
Well, there are 2 key aspects.
Okay.
First, there's their platform for AI or PAI,
Yeah.
and this streamlines the entire AI engineering process.
So it's like an AI assembly line.
Yeah, it's got dedicated stations.
Okay, cool. Walk me through it.
Okay, so first you start with PAI tag,
Okay.
and that handles your data labeling, which is essential.
Got it.
And then you move to PAI DSW for model building, followed by PAI DLC for training.
Okay.
And finally, there's PI EAS, which takes care of the deployment and makes it available.
So it's really end to end.
Yeah, they got the whole thing covered.
Cool. And is there anything particularly unique about their setup?
Well, one thing they highlight is PAI Lingjum,
Okay.
which offers these high-intensity, heterogeneous computing services,
Okay.
and it's specifically for large-scale generative AI tasks.
So it's like a supercharged engine for AI.
Yeah, for those heavy-duty workloads.
Is that available everywhere?
Not yet. Currently, it's only offered in China and Singapore,
Interesting.
but it's a good indicator of where things are headed.
Yeah, definitely shows they're pushing the boundaries.
Right.
And speaking of pushing boundaries, you mentioned earlier, they're using hardware and software acceleration to boost performance.
Absolutely.
What does that actually look like?
Well, they're using GPUs, very specifically selected GPUs.
Okay.
And those are specialized processors that excel at AI calculations.
Makes sense.
And then on top of that, they have their optimization technologies
Okay.
that really squeeze the most out of the hardware.
So it's optimization on top of optimization.
Yeah, both hardware and software level.
Wow. And how much of a difference does that actually make?
Well, they talk about their GPU accelerator AIACC,
Mm-hmm.
and according to the Stanford Dawn Deep Learning Benchmark,
Yeah.
it can speed up training by up to 70%
Wow.
and inference by 2-3 times.
That's huge.
Yeah,
Especially when you're talking about getting things to market faster.
exactly.
Yeah.
Time is money.
And a better user experience.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So now that we've talked about the infrastructure, I want to dive into the models themselves.
Okay, let's get into it.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that they have these open source foundation models.
Yes.
What's the deal with those?
Users can train and fine-tune popular FMs directly within platform for AI, and then they can deploy those as online services.
So it's not like they're giving you a model and saying, that's it.
No, it's very flexible.
Okay.
You can customize it to your needs.
So let's start with their own Tongyi Qwen series.
Okay, so that's their own large language model.
Yeah.
And they have Qwen VL for vision and language,
Uh-huh.
Qwen Audio,
Okay.
Qwen Coder
Wow.
for coding tasks, and Qwen Math for math.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What are some of the strengths of these different models?
Well, they've been trained on massive data sets spanning multiple languages.
Oh, wow.
And industries.
Okay.
So they can understand and generate text in a lot of different languages.
So not just English.
No.
Okay.
And they've also got straightforward APIs so developers can integrate them easily.
That's important.
Very important.
You don't want to get bogged down in technical details. And then they recently released Qwen 2.5.
Yes.
And it has improved performance in coding and mathematics.
Yes.
And supports 29 languages.
That's a lot of languages.
Yeah, that's amazing. So if I'm a business app, I can take these models and adapt them to my specific needs.
That's the beauty of open source.
Yes.
You can fine-tune them with your own data.
Very cool. So beyond their own Qwen series, what other models do they have?
Well, they also give you access to Llama 3,
Okay.
which is known for its innovation and user-friendliness.
Okay.
There's Stable Diffusion for generating images from text.
So I could literally say, create an image of a robot riding a unicorn on the moon, and it would do it.
Pretty much.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What else
They've
they
got
got?
ChatGLM, which is really good at understanding and responding to human conversation.
Okay.
And they've used supervised fine-tuning and reinforcement learning to align with human preferences.
That's really interesting. So they've got a lot of different options.
Yeah.
But how easy is it for businesses to actually use these?
Well, that's where Model Studio comes in. This is a one-stop platform that accelerates model customization and GenAI application development.
Tell me more about this Model Studio.
Well, it has built-in workflows for model inference and evaluation,
Okay.
and it also has one-click RAG setup,
Bragg setup.
retrieval augmented generation,
Okay.
and they do that with Analytic DB for PostgreSQL.
What is retrieval augmented generation?
So it basically lets your AI models tap into a massive database of information.
Okay.
And with this Analytic DB for PostgreSQL, it can manage a retrieval capacity of over 10 billion vectors.
10 billion.
Yeah, so it's a massive amount of information your model can
It's
access.
just like having an AI with a photographic memory.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's amazing. And is it complicated to set up?
No, Model Studio makes it super easy.
Yeah.
And it has comprehensive security measures too.
Okay, and what kind of security measures are we talking about here?
So you can develop your models in your own VPC network.
Okay.
So it's isolated and secure. And they use Private Link for secure data access, and they have customizable content governance features.
Okay, so they're really taking security seriously.
Oh, yeah, it's a big priority.
That's good to hear.
Yep.
So we've talked about the infrastructure, the models, the platform,
Yeah.
but I want to know how businesses are actually using all this.
Right, the real-world applications.
Yeah.
This is where it gets exciting.
Right.
So one big application is prompt-based text generation.
Okay, so like you give it a prompt and it generates text.
Exactly.
Cool.
So you could use Tongyi Qwen to generate a script for a video,
Okay.
a blog post, a poem,
Wow.
anything you can think of.
So it's like an AI writing assistant.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
That's cool. And you said that's not the only application.
Right. There's also prompt-based image generation.
Okay.
So Alibaba Cloud has Tongyi Qwen,
Okay.
which can create images based on your descriptions.
So like I could say, draw me a picture of a cat wearing a hat riding a bicycle, and it would do that.
Yeah, it can get pretty creative.
Wow, that's amazing. What other creative applications are there?
Well, there's similar image generation
Okay.
where you give it an image and it generates variations.
Mm-hmm.
Image style transfer,
Okay.
where you can apply different artistic styles to an existing image.
So like take a picture of my dog and turn it into a Van Gogh.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy. And what was that last one you said?
Close virtual try-on.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's like
Close virtual try-on.
trying on clothes virtually.
That's like straight out of a sci-fi movie.
I know, it's pretty cool.
Okay, so we've seen the potential, but Have any businesses actually seen results with this stuff?
Absolutely. So there's Futureverse.
Okay.
They're developing this text-to-music generator called GEN1.
An AI that can compose music.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Wow.
And they're using Alibaba Cloud's infrastructure for training.
Okay.
And in benchmark tests, Alibaba Cloud achieved a 96% performance score.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
And what was the other one?
AstraZeneca, they built an adverse event summary system
One.
using Alibaba Cloud's dedicated model studio and Tongyi Qwen LLM.
Wow. And what kind of results did they see?
Well, they saw a 300% increase in efficiency.
Wow.
And their accuracy improved from 90% to 95%.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's a big improvement.
All right. So Alibaba Cloud is clearly doing some really innovative things in the Gen AI space, but how are they staying ahead of the curve?
Well, they're constantly innovating.
Okay.
They recently unveiled a serverless solution for GenAI.
Okay.
They introduced Tongyi Qwen at the World Artificial Intelligence Conference.
Okay.
They're integrating Tongyi Qwen across all their businesses.
Wow.
And they're also offering these price-competitive cloud products with free trials and training services.
So they're making it really accessible.
Yeah, they're trying to make it as easy as possible for businesses to get started.
That's great. So it sounds like they're very invested in the future of Gen AI.
Very much so.
Okay, well, we've covered a lot of ground today, but I want to know how they stack up against the competition. Yeah, the big players.
Yeah, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, where do they fit in?
That's a great question, and it's something we should definitely explore further.
And I'm also curious about their stance on responsible AI.
Yeah, the ethical implications.
Exactly, because it's a powerful technology.
Yeah,
But it's important to make sure it's used responsibly.
absolutely.
So stay tuned, deep divers, because we're going to be discussing all that and more after a quick break.
Stay
We'll
tuned.
be right back.
Mhm.
They're carving out a pretty interesting space for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about their full stack approach before the break.
Yeah.
That's a big thing they're emphasizing.
Yeah.
You know, they want to provide everything a business needs to get started with Gen AI.
Right. So it's not just like, oh, here's a model, good luck.
No, they're giving you the whole package.
Yeah, the infrastructure, the model, training, the deployment.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards.
That seems like it would be really appealing
Oh, yeah, for sure.
for businesses, especially those who are just getting started.
Yeah, they don't have to shop around for different pieces.
Yeah.
It's all right there.
All right, and what about their focus on open source models? How does that factor into their competitive strategy?
That's another area where they're really differentiating themselves.
Okay.
You know, they're not forcing businesses to use only their own proprietary models. They're saying, hey, you have the freedom to choose what works best for you.
Yeah, that's a good approach.
Yeah, you're not locked in.
Yeah.
You can experiment with different models and see what fits your needs.
So you could potentially start with Alibaba Cloud's platform and then branch out to other models as you become more familiar with the technology.
Exactly.
Okay, so it sounds like they're trying to make Gen AI as accessible as possible.
Yeah, they want to lower the barriers to entry,
Yeah.
make it easy for everyone to get involved.
Okay, so they're a serious contender in the Gen AI field. But let's talk about the elephant in the room,
Ugh.
the competition.
Oh, yeah.
Google, Microsoft, Amazon.
The big guys.
Yeah. How does Alibaba Cloud stack up against these giants?
Well, it's definitely a David and Goliath situation in some ways.
Yeah.
But, you know, Alibaba Cloud is holding its own.
Okay.
They have a different focus.
What do you mean?
They're really emphasizing their commitment to serving businesses of all sizes.
Okay, so not just the Fortune 500 companies.
No, they want to empower small and medium-sized businesses as well.
Yeah, make Gen AI accessible to everyone.
Exactly. They see it as a democratizing force.
And how are they making that happen in a practical sense?
Well, they're doing a lot of things.
Okay.
Their pricing is very competitive.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
They offer free trials.
Oh,
they
right.
have training services.
So they're really trying to remove any obstacles
Exactly.
for
Yeah.
businesses.
Yeah, they want to make it as easy as possible to get started.
Okay, so accessibility is a big part of their strategy.
Yeah, they want to be the Gen AI provider for the people.
I like that. What other strategies are they using to compete?
Well, they're also really pushing their innovation. They're constantly releasing new features and improving their existing offerings.
So they're not standing still.
No, they're always moving forward.
Yeah.
They know that in this field you have to keep evolving or you'll get left behind.
It's like a constant arms race.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, but let's zoom out for a second and talk about the bigger picture.
Yeah, the impact of Gen AI on the world.
Exactly. We've been focusing on Alibaba Cloud,
Right.
But I'm curious to get your thoughts on where this technology is headed in the next few years.
Oh man, that's a big question.
Yeah.
But it's an exciting one. I
Yeah.
think we're just scratching the surface of what Gen AI can do.
Okay.
It has the potential to revolutionize pretty much every industry.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Okay, well, healthcare is a big one.
Yeah.
Gen AI can be used to analyze massive amounts of medical data and help develop personalized treatments.
So instead of a one-size-fits-all approach to medicine,
Exactly.
we could have treatments that are tailored to each individual patient.
That's the goal.
Wow. That's incredible.
Mark,
What else?
education is another area where Gen AI can have a huge impact.
Yeah. How so?
Imagine AI tutors that can adapt to each student's learning style,
Oh, wow.
or AI-powered tools that can help students develop critical thinking skills.
So it's not just about memorizing facts anymore.
No, it's about learning how to think
Yeah.
and how to solve problems.
That's really interesting. What other applications are you excited about?
Well, I'm also really interested in the potential of Gen AI to create new industries and business models.
Okay.
We're already seeing the rise of AI-powered content creation platforms,
Yeah.
virtual assistants that can handle more and more complex tasks,
Right.
and even AI-driven drug discovery companies.
So it's not just about automating existing jobs.
No, it's about creating new possibilities.
That's a really important point to emphasize.
Yeah, and it's something we need to keep in mind as this technology continues to evolve.
So you're saying that Gen AI has the potential to be a force for good,
I think so.
but it also has the potential to be misused.
That's true of any powerful technology. We need to be mindful of the risks as we embrace the opportunities.
So what are some of the specific risks we need to be thinking about?
Well, there are concerns about bias in AI models,
Okay.
the spread of misinformation,
Right.
and the potential impact on jobs.
Yeah, those are all legitimate concerns.
We need to be having these conversations now
Yeah.
so that we can put safeguards in place.
So we can shape the future of Gen AI in a responsible way.
Exactly.
I think that's a great place to wrap up this part of our conversation.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground, but we still need to talk about one more crucial aspect of Alibaba Cloud's approach to Gen AI, their commitment to ongoing innovation.
Right.
So stay tuned, deep divers, because we'll be right back after a quick break to delve into the cutting-edge research and development that's shaping the future of this exciting field. All right, so we're back and ready to talk about innovation at Alibaba Cloud.
Yeah, they're definitely pushing the boundaries in a few key areas.
Like what? What are they working on that's got you excited?
Well, one area is multimodal AI.
Multimodal AI. Okay, now I have to admit, that's not a term I'm super familiar with.
Yeah, it's pretty cutting edge, but basically it's all about AI models that can understand and generate content across different modes, like text, images, audio, video, maybe even sensory data.
So instead of AI that just works with text or just images, it's AI that can understand and work with all of these different formats seamlessly.
Exactly. It's like giving AI a more human-like way of experiencing the world, through multiple senses.
Wow, that's a huge leap forward. I mean, what kind of impact could that have on, well, everything?
Well, think about virtual assistants that can not only understand what you're saying, but also read your facial expressions, your body language, or robots that can navigate really complex environments using visual, auditory, and tactile information all at the same time.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty mind-blowing. I can see how that could be a game changer for so many industries, like healthcare, robotics, even customer service. It's amazing to see how AI is becoming more and more integrated into our lives.
It really is. And Alibaba Cloud is right there at the forefront, actively researching and developing these multimodal AI models. I think they're going to have a huge impact on how we interact with technology in the future.
So it sounds like they're not just focused on what GenAI can do today, but they're really looking ahead to what's next.
Absolutely. And they're exploring other areas too, like new techniques for model training and optimization.
Oh, like what? Give me an example.
Well, they're looking into something called federated learning. It's a way to train models on data that's spread across multiple devices or servers without having to actually move that data to a central location.
Oh, so it's like distributed learning, but with privacy built in.
Exactly. It's a big deal for fields like healthcare, where privacy is absolutely crucial. It allows researchers to collaborate and train models on sensitive data without putting that data at risk.
That's a really elegant solution. And it sounds like Alibaba Cloud is really committed to not only advancing the technology, but also doing it in a responsible way.
They are, and that's something I really appreciate about their approach. They're not just chasing the latest trends, they're thinking about the long-term implications and making sure that Gen AI is used for good.
Well, I think it's safe to say we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've explored the ins and outs of Alibaba Cloud's GenAI solutions, from their infrastructure and models to their focus on accessibility, innovation, and responsible AI.
It's been a really interesting conversation. I hope our listeners have gained a better understanding of how Alibaba Cloud is empowering businesses to harness the power of GenAI and shape the future of, well, pretty much everything.
Me too. It's clear that Alibaba Cloud is a major force in the GenAI space, and I'm excited to see what they come up with next. But as we wrap up today's deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. The future of GenAI is not predetermined. It's up to all of us to shape it, to make sure that this powerful technology is used ethically and responsibly to create a better world for everyone. So as you go out and explore the amazing possibilities of GenAI, remember to ask the tough questions, challenge the status quo, and be a part of shaping a future where technology empowers humanity and helps us reach our full potential. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure. Until next time.